Hello students, in this lecture we are going to discuss about the ISO OSI model of communication system. Objectives of today's lecture: to study ISO OSI model to get familiarized with this function of each layer of OSI model. So first, what is the need for the protocol architecture, or what is the need of the models which we are using in a communication system? So to transfer the data, several tasks must be performed, such as the source must activate communication path or inform network of the destination. The source must make sure that the destination is prepared to receive the data. Third task is the file transfer application on the source must confirm file management program at destination is prepared to accept and to store the file. A format translation function may need to be performed if the formats of the systems are different. Now to perform all this task, there are some protocols, and those protocols are used in the communication system. Models and the standards in the communication. Now in the communication, what is the need of models and standards? So in communication, we are having some establishment standards, and the standards are known as the protocols. Implementation, a framework is useful or is helpful in the designing of the hardware and the software for the communication. ISO OSI model serves this purpose. So what is ISO OSI models define? ISO stands for International Standards Organization and OSI stands for the Open System Interconnect. So together ISO OSI is called as the International Standards Organization, Open System Interconnect. Background of OSI model: it is introduced in 1978 and revised in 1984. Formulates the communication process into structured layer. There are 7 layers in the model, hence the name, the 7-layer model. The model acts as a framework of a reference in the designing of the communication and the networking product. What are those 7 layers? So first layer is a physical layer, second one is a data link layer, third one is a network layer, fourth one is a transport layer, fifth one is a session layer, sixth one is a presentation, and the last and the topmost layer is an application layer. Now the division of this layer, now these 7 layers are divided into 3 sections: lower layers, middle layer and the upper layers. Function of the layer: now each layer deals with one aspect of networking. For example, layer 1 deals with the communication medium. Similarly, each layer communicates with the adjacent layer in both directions. Means the lower layer will communicate with the upper layer as well as the layer which is present below its lower side. Each layer formats the data packets. So how the communication took place among the layers? So here we have taken example of a 3-layer application, presentation and the session. Now from the application layer, the data is transferred to the presentation, and from the presentation the data is transferred to the session, and from the session it is transferred to the layer which is below the session. And similarly, from the session layer, the data is communicated or transferred to the presentation which is in the upward direction, and from presentation it is transferred to the application. Hence the communication between the layer is a bidirectional communication. Role of the layers in the point-to-point communication. So here we have taken one example of a point-to-point communication. Now node A and node B are communicating with each other in a format of a point-to-point communication. Now here what is happening? From application layer, that is the topmost layer, to the physical layer, the data is transferred or the request is sent, and from the physical layer, with the help of a media can be anything wired or wireless, the data is or the information or the request is sent to the second node, and to the second node from the application layer, the data or the information or the request is sent back to the first node. So this is a bidirectional communication where we are exchanging the information from node A to node B and from node B to node A. So here we just take example कि if you are accessing any file from a computer, so what we do at the node A from the application layer, will make a request, and that request is sent to the node B. Node B is nothing but a server. Now from the server end, once it will get the request of some particular file, it will resend or it will send that file to your computer. So in this way the communication took place. Communication is in bidirectional format. Now virtual communication between the layers. Now virtual communication means what? In case of OSI model, in between 2 layers there is a virtual communication. That is, your application layer communicate with the application layer of the second node or of the second model. Similarly, The network layer of first node communicate with the network layer of a second node. This is a virtual communication actually. They are not actually connected to each other, but the communication is in virtual format, means we have to keep them in virtual mode so that the communication took place properly. So now we are going to discuss about each and every layer in a detail. The first layer is our application layer. What is the purpose of an application layer? This is the highest layer in the OSI model. It provides service to the user application to network service interference. Example of application layers are login, password checking, file request from the server, email services. So these all are the tasks which are performed at the application layer. Application layer is a layer which is closer to the user or to the operator. Then what are the functions of application layers which we can perform? So first one is a general network access. So it is a point from where we can access to the network. This is a one point from where we access to the internet. Then the flow control and the error recovery. So this all are the tasks performed at the application layer. Below application layer is a presentation layer. Its purpose is to format data for exchange between points of communication, that is between nodes in a network. Its examples are redirector software, formats for transmission to the server. So what are the different functions performed by the presentation layer? First one is a protocol conversion. Now when we are communicating between the two nodes or in between the two devices, there must be a protocol conversion because each device or each network works on a different protocols. So to establish a connection, there must be a common source, and that task is done by the presentation layer, that is a protocol conversion. Data translation, that is the same thing. The data transferred, or if we are having a two nodes and we have to make them equivalent, so for that we have to translate the data in such a way that the data transferred from one node is understandable by the data received by the second node. Encryption to provide the security. Then character set conversion, expansion of the graphics command. So this all are the tasks performed by the presentation layer. Below presentation layer is a session layer. Its main purpose is for the management and the synchronization of the conversion between the two different applications. Streams of data is properly marked and resynchronized. Oversees a communication session. It performs three tasks. First one is the establishment of a session, maintaining a session, and the termination of the session. So what are the different functions of a session layer? It performs name recognition and related security tasks, synchronization between the sender and the receiver, assignment of a time for a transmission. It will assign a time for the transmission of a data. So it will define your start time and it will give you the end time or the stop time. Below session layer is a fourth layer, that is a transport layer. Its purpose is to provide transport services. Message can be transmitted on a parallel path or on a serial path. Transport layer made to multiplexing, splitting, blocking of various data streams. Repackage properly and efficient delivery of a packages, that is, it is packaging the data in such a way that the data is error free, the data is in sequence and without the duplication. What are the functions at the sending end? For sending the data, it repackage the message to fit into the packet. So what it will do, if you are having a long message, it will repack the messages so that it will fit into the smaller packets. It will split long messages and assemble small messages. If you are having a long message, it will split the messages so that they will fit into the packets, and if you are having a small message, it will assemble the small package in a particular packet. On receiving end, it will perform exactly the opposite operation, and it will send acknowledgement to the sender whether the data is received or not, or the packet is received or not. It solves the packet problem if there is any error, or if any packet is missing, so it will solve that problem which occurred during the transmission and the reception. Below transport layer is a third layer, that is a network layer. Its purpose is to addressing and routing the packets to the destination end system. Now the packets which are formed in the transport layer are addressed, and the routing of the packets to the destinations is the job of a networking layer. Example, application at the routers. If the packet size is large, it split it into the smaller packets. Function, it address messages, address translation from logical to the physical, routing of a data. So if you are having a large amount of data, it will perform its routing based on the priority and best path at the time of transmission. And the congestion control. Congestion control means if in a particular path, if there is a large amount of packets present, it will control that congestion by providing the another path. So that all are the job done by network layer. Below network layer is a data link layer. Its purpose is to manage the flow of data over the physical medium, responsible for the error-free transmission over the physical media, assures error-free data submission to the network layer. The functions performed by the data link layer are the point of origin, packets data for the transmission over the physical line. So this is a point from where the data packets are actually transmitted over the physical line. Receiving end. So we are having two ends. First one is the end from where the data is generated, and second one is the point where the data is receiving, that is your receiving end. So the packages data for submission of the network layer. It deals with the network transmission protocols. So IEEE 802 are the protocols which are mainly used for the transmission of the data. So there are two sublayers present in the data link layer, that is used for the improvement to the ISO model. The first layer is a logical link control LLC sublayer. Its function is to manage a service access points and error and flow control. Second layer is a media access control, or the MAC sublayer. Its function is to, it applies directly to the network card communication and it will access the control. Below this layer is the last layer, that is the physical layer. Its purpose is to, it deals with the transmission of zeros and ones over the physical media. So this is a lowermost layer present in the OSI model, and after physical layer is actual physical media is there. Okay, so it will translate the data in forms of zeros and one that we are transferring over the physical medium. Translation of bits into the signal. Examples: pulse duration determination, time synchronization. This all are the tasks performed at the physical layer, and the function of physical layer is to encode bits into the signals. It carry data from the higher layer. Now we have already seen in the previous lecture, in case of communication, first we are having a data and then we are converting that data into the signals. So this task is performed at the physical layer. So this all are the 7 layers of a OSI ISO model, and below physical layer is our actual media through which we are transferring the data. Now this is one of the important things, how to memorize this 7 layer. So the 7 layers are application, presentation, session layer, transport layer, network layer, data link layer, and the physical layer. So how we are going to memorize this 7 layers? So for memorizing, we are using this one sentence, that is all people seems to need data processing. So you just focus on the first letter or the first alphabet. The first alphabet of all is A, that is resemble to the application. People P resemble to presentation, seems S resemble to session, and so on. So it is a very easy method to remember the 7 layers, the flow of the 7 layers. The first one is the application. All people seems to need data processing. So application, presentation, session, transport, network, data link, and physical layer. Now this is a quick recap what we have discussed. So we are having a 7 layers: application, presentation, session, transport, network, data link, and a physical. Their function of application layer is the service that are used with the end user applications. Presentation formats the data so that it can be viewed by the user. Encryption and the decryptions are the functions. Session, establishments and ends connection between the two hosts. Transport layer is responsible for the transport protocol and the error handling. Network layer reads the IP address from the packets. Data link layer read the MAC addresses from the data packets, and physical layer send data on the physical wire. So these all are the functions of the layers, and this all are the protocols which we are using for those particular layers. So the protocol which is used in the application layers are SMTP. In presentation, JBC, GIF, TLC. In presentation we are having PPTP. Transportation we are having TCP, UDP protocols. Then in network layer we are having various networking devices like routers and switches. In network layer, in data link layer we are having a networking devices as a switches, and in physical layer we are having a networking devices which is hub and cable. Now we are going to discuss about all this networking layer in the next lectures. Okay. Thank you for listening to my lecture. Thank you.